to me about Lana and her role in this interesting family dynamic that's going on with Rebel and her family.
Okay, so my character Lana she's human. I'm gonna say that to start. She's wonderful with being a kick-ass investigator. Rebel and her are like sisters from another mister. They go out there and they handle whatever issue is going on. Lana's her muscle. So if someone needs to get their butt kicked, Lana's there to do that. Um, but she has layers, and just like anyone else, she has issues that she's dealing with along with her day-to-day things that she has to deal with as well. So that's the one thing I really do appreciate about Lana. She's not all fluff and glamour. I got stuff, but I got to do this. And it's great to have that in a character.
She seems to be the centering piece of the family. So, can you talk to me a little bit about the journey that we're going to see her go through in this first season?
You're gonna see a lot with her, to be honest. She is, I can't give away too much, but she's had some issues that she's still having to deal with, that she will always have to deal with for the rest of her life. And on top of that, she's got a niece that's going through the same thing. So there's that, I got to be auntie and stay on top of this because I know what it did to me. And then we got investigating to do, and we got family issues within that. So Lana, she is the piece, but she's also the loudness in her with herself. She's peace with everyone else, but it's a mess over there with her, that she's got to deal with. So I love that she has all of those different layers.
So you mentioned her being the muscle, and we get to see a little bit of that in the first episode. Did you do your stunts? Are you going to be out there roughing the bad guys up and going through that?
Listen, I did a lot of the stunts, but ABC is very protective. They wouldn't let me do all of them. They were like, honey, no Tom Cruising over here. You can do this much and that much, but we're going to have to get, a stunt double. And she was amazing. Once I saw her, everything was cut together. I was like, all right, guys, I get it. I really liked her. And you couldn't really see the difference between the two of us because, again, I'm very active. I do want to do my own stunts. So I'm going to continue to fight for that. Like I said, they let me do a chunk of it, but then there was a chunk that I was not able to do.
So Lana and Benji are brother and sister, and you and James were on a sitcom together many years ago called For Your Love, which I love, where I think, were you guys in-laws or were the couples just friends?
Well, we became in-laws. I was dating his brother, and then we got married, and then, the marriage messed us up because we were commitment phobics. But James, when I saw he was part of this cast, I was like, no way. That has been my soul brother since then. Like, I love James. We kept in touch throughout after For Your Love throughout the years. And, it's always dropped and picked back up. And it was so weird. Right before this audition, right before this project or anything mentioned about this, we hung out, like we were like, what you been up to? And I always cook for James. Anytime, we hang out, we always cook, we sip, and we catch up and we play old school music. This time I had a record player, so I thought I was grown. And then, what do you know? A couple of months later, we are cast as brother and sister. I'm like, you've always been my brother, man. I'm telling you, this is God's way of saying, like, yep, for the rest of your life, this is your brother.
You guys are together and bonded.
Yeah.
So what was it like working with Katie when you got the audition, saw you got the role, and you were going to be playing her sister-in-law? What has that experience been like for you?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I was very nervous because I love Katie Seagal. I used to go around the house talking about, oh, Al, like I loved her on Married with Children. I loved her on Futurama. I loved her Sons of Anarchy. I love her. So I was a little timid at first. And normally I'm not. I'm usually like, hey, let's get this done. Walk on set and I see her and I literally felt like I saw Michael Jackson. Like it was the same. Like, oh my God. But for me to calm down and be able to do my job, I had to tell her. I said, I have something to confess. I said, I've been one of your biggest fans forever, and I'm so freaking nervous and full of anxiety because I want to do good. And she said, I have something to confess. I was like, what? She said, I'm freaking nervous too. I want to do good and I want to do the best for this role. So once that was said, it was on. It was on, and we were on, and it's been flowing ever since.
Amazing. So obviously you said that we're going to go on a journey, but for you, what do you want the audience to take away from Lana when they are viewing the series and getting into her story?
I want them to know that there is not one perfect person. And Lana that character is the perfect definition of that. No one is perfect in this world. It may appear that way when you're looking on the outside, looking in, but everyone has issues and things that they have to conquer and deal with until the day they die. That's just the way it is. And Lana projects that. At the same time, she's got a job to do that is about helping other people and ensuring that they get the best quality of life. So it's not about her. And that's the thing about life. It's never just about you. It's about everything around you, everyone around you, and also you. But this is the balance that you have to keep. And that's what I love about Lana. She's actually a real thing for me. She's a real person. And I love that.
So, kind of continuing on that topic, what traits of yours does Lana have, or what parts of yourself did you infuse into the character?
I had a lot of help infusing parts of myself in there because with our genius showrunner and creator, Miss Krista Virnoff, she did a thing when we were down in this pandemic. We were going to start before, and then we got shut down because everything happened. But she took that time and she had us get on Zoom together, like, you guys, we're going to check in, we're going to do this. And then she did it separately. She did like an interview with all of us to see who we were and what pieces she wanted to take and put into the character. And when she did that for me, I don't know about everyone else, that made me say, okay, I see where you're going with this. And I put in definitely the little sassy, I'm my mother in this show. That's what people are going to see. If you know my mom, Roxanne, then you're going to see her in this. My mother she's no nonsense. She's fun. She takes care of her kids. She loves her family. Family is everything to her. But don't mess with her and don't mess with her family. Don't do it. And if you do, you're going to suffer. And maybe not physically, but you will suffer. And it's the looks that she gives you. I stole those and I gave them to Lana. The different looks, like, oh, are you, you're going to see mama up in there a lot. Then there's the kick-ass aspect of Lana. Things I wish I could have done back in the day that may have been in my mind. You can't fight everyone, but this character, so things I might have thought about doing that I couldn't do back in the day, Lana does them. I've also infused, outside of my mom and me, other people and friends and family that I know. So she's a combination of a lot of people. But I'm in there and mama's in there.